bad boy rolled up the driveway. When the shipper rolled it up the driveway, I was inside. I looked out the window. I was like, oh my God, what have we got here? Dropped everything I was doing. The whole shop emptied out. Everybody proceeded to drool on it for a half an hour. This is an absolute freaking stunning diamond. The best one I've ever seen. And it's not just the cosmetic part of it, which is phenomenal, but the suspension, the engine, everything on this bike was done by under the careful, watchful eye by Ivan Ramirez and his assistant mechanic. Ivan is a professional mechanic. He's worked for KTM on the factory race team. In fact, he's also a multi-time champion, both United States Grand National champion and in Mexico. He won multiple championships, including the podium at the Baja. So before I get into his background, I wanted you to know a little bit about the guy who built this bike and the client he built it for. It was a no expense spared build for a enthusiast client of his that there was no limit to what that could be done to this bike. There was no budget. And when there is no budget and you have the best in the industry working on it, this is what you end up, the best of everything. Starting with a pristine original XR650R, there's no sense in creating a Baja weapon out of something that's clapped out. So Ivan secured a mint original XR650R, stripped it right down to the frame. I talked to him the other day. He gave me and I have a complete write-up I can go over because I'll probably forget some of the stuff. But he told me he spent over 6 weeks on this bike from full-time, 6 weeks on this bike. Him and his partner, they have over 300 hours labor on it, starting with the frame, right down to the frame. When I saw the frame, we polish aluminum here to a pretty high level, and I glanced at it, and it took me a while to figure out that it's not chrome plated. That is polished aluminum. I even confirmed that. Professionally polished every square inch of the frame, even up on the steering head here, without damaging the original VIN or VIN tag. You can see even the fittings for the oil overflow. The triple clamps were polished. All the aluminum was professionally polished on it. The skid plate, the subframe, just absolutely freaking gorgeous. So he started from there. Then he took the engine right down to the engine cases. Born in Ensenada, Mexico, Ivan Ramirez was given a KTM 50 at the age of 5 by his father, who was also a racer. And thanks to the unconditional support of his parents, Ivan developed great confidence in handling the bike and was soon competing and winning. In his list of championships, 9 major championships, he was the AMA National Hare and Hound Champion, 4-time ISDE gold medal winner, the Works Pro 2 and Open A champion. He was the Baja champion and the Mexican E1 champion. So quite a pedigree. And when he retired from racing, he got a job with KTM working on with the factory team building bikes like this. So just a pedigree of a guy who knows how a bike's supposed to perform and can spin a wrench. In the Baja races, he quite often would have to fix the bike himself. And some of the gold medal races, they don't allow mechanics to work on the bike. The guy's got to know how to fix it himself. So he's a phenomenal mechanic, and now that's what he does full time, is build. This is a 3rd or 4th bike that we've gotten from him. There's a KX125. Show him the KX over there real quick, just to show you the quality of the work that Ivan's doing. It's absolutely next level. So you're in countless motocross and supercross victories in both Mexico and the U.S., upgrading bikes and climbing the categories as his level increased rapidly. He also had excellent results. So he was called to team up with the best racers in the United States, even though he was really young. During his participation at the 2007 Score International Baja 500, Ivan defeated the official KTM USA factory rider, who was the favorite to win, leaving him behind in one of the most technical parts of the course. Ivan was then, of course, snapped up by Chris Haynes and earned category wins and podiums in the Baja 500 and 1000. In 2012, he was riding for the KTM US factory team and continued to land podium places at the International 6-Day Enduro Open category at the Work Series and the Baja 150, 500, and 1000. Then in 2015, he became the first Mexican to win the AMA National Hare and Hound Championship, a true testament to his unrivaled skill and ability. Around 2017, he had some injuries and health issues that have hampered his continued rise in racing, but he's converted his energy and skill with motorcycles to the restoration shop that he now owns in Mexico. I've got pictures of his shop. It looks like the KTM factory race team. In fact, he told me when he set it up, he wanted it to be like a factory race shop. So this is built by a Grand National champion, former factory mechanic with a pedigree second to none. So he raced Baja, so he knew what works, and he built this bike to be competitive at the national level, starting with that frame, brilliantly polished like chrome. Of course, the steering head bearings are new. The swing arm bearings are new. The link, every bearing on the motorcycle is new or improved. It has the suspension. You got to look at the suspension. Show them the lowers. It has factory Baja Precision Concept suspension, both front and rear. The anodized fork is called, if you look at the anodizing on the fork, it's called Baja Factory. The anodized shock body on the rear shock, if you can zoom in on that, is called Baja Factory, and it has a red shock spring. So both the shock and the forks are factory level. Check this side out right here. Show them the anodized shock body. Let's see if you can zoom in on the quality of the shock. Bob Bell is the owner of Precision Concepts. He does these, and they're done to the level that a guy like Ivan would want when he's zooming across the desert at 90 miles an hour. Zoom in on the triple clamps. Look at this. Is a Scott's upper triple clamp with a Scott's steering stabilizer, which is a must-have for high speed. Look at the safety wiring that was done to hold the steering stem bolt on there. Just phenomenal. The starting at the front of the bike, it has the candy red hubs with the Takasago XL wheels. Those XL spokes have anodized red nipples. Just beautiful. The forks anodizing is beautiful. Brand new fork boots, brand new front brake cable. The Nissan caliper is in brand new condition, as is the lever. It has a Cycra hand guards on here. Of course, the grips, the Renthal grips, are attached to the purple custom Renthal bars with the customized Renthal crossbar pad to clear the Scott steering stabilizer. It's got the quick adjust clutch lever, brand new. Everything's brand new on the bike, or mint original. Clutch lever, quick adjust, just beautiful. So going down the list here, he's tried to synergize 6 weeks of the work into a 10-minute video. Is not easy, but I'll do my best here. Takasago XL wheels front and rear. RK gold chain with the purple Renthal sprocket. You can see it has a new chain guide here. All the hardware on the motorcycle is brand new. This is the original drive chain logo that was on the bike, just to show you they started with a mint original bike. You can see the Takasago XL rim, the beautiful powder coated hub and spokes. The Nissan caliper has even the mounts for the caliper are polished aluminum. The kickstand, I believe, is zinc plated. It's almost like a chrome, but it's zinc plated. New kickstand spring. Has the IMS Pro Series pegs. Again, all new bearings throughout the bike. The fuel tank is a brand new IMS fuel tank. Those are the IMS foot pegs also. The aluminum skid plate, if you zoom in on that, you'll see that was polished like chrome. The clutch cover, the ignition cover on the side you're on is been original factory polished like chrome. And then on this side, zoom in on the clutch cover here. It's absolute jewelry the way this was done. It's spectacular. And the best part about it is it's aluminum, so it can be continuously polished, and if it's scratched, it can be sanded out, unlike chrome. Has a Scott's rear disc cover. The carburetor. Before we go on the other side, I want to point out that the countershaft sprocket, the shift lever is polished. The countershaft sprocket cover and countershaft sprocket are brand new. Clutch cable is new. All the hardware on the engine is new. New base gasket, new head gasket. When he rebuilt the engine, I'll get into that in a minute, it was done to original specifications to maintain the mechanical integrity. It wasn't hot rodded. It was built to last 500 miles at wide WFO in the desert. So Scott's rear disc cover, polished aluminum, braided stainless rear brake line, braided stainless front brake line, rebuilt caliper and master cylinder. The carburetor, check out this carburetor. They polished the entire carburetor, which is no easy task, like chrome also. Of course, it was set up with Baja jetting. The jetting's a little bit off for Connecticut because this is Baja jetting, so the wizard messed with it a little bit this morning. Him and the mechanic are gonna give it another going through. I think they have to go up one on the pilot, is what they said, to get it perfectly jetted for this humid New England weather. Let's see. It has a heat reducer and protection cover for all the radiator hoses. If you take a look right here, that's the kind of stuff that you do on a bike that you want to make it 500 miles through the desert. Of course, the whole cooling system's been gone through. You can see even the radiator. Zoom in on the radiator fins in the upper and lower. This original OEM radiator that was also polished. Every component on the bike was carefully inspected, like you would before going into a Baja 500 or a Baja 1000. You can see the header system, the Pro Circuit header system is all brand new, including the flanges that mount it to the head and the head pipes and the springs, all the mounting hardware. You gotta get right in there to show them that. Just absolute jewelry. Renthal 999 bars, Renthal soft grips, Renthal rear sprocket, Scott steering stabilizer, Works connection clutch lever, OEM front and rear brake, brand new motor. Everything's been done in the motor to factory race team specifications, pistons, rings, everything. Clutch is new, transmission's been gone through, the crankshaft, the valves, everything has been gone through on this motorcycle. The engine's brand new. The tires are top of the line Pirelli MT16 Garrett-Cross tire on the front, and the 120/118 Pirelli on the rear with matching XL hubs and rims and everything else. There's a lot of details on this bike. Hard to summarize it in a quick video, but every square inch of this motorcycle has been polished, plated, or improved. Even the spokes were safety wired. That's the kind of attention to detail for someone who wants it. Now, here's the issue at hand here. This bike is so nice. I don't know if I'd want to rip it across the Baja and destroy it. It's something that I'd want to put in my living room, but I've built bikes like this and raced them and just rebuilt them. Like Junior's bike, we've done it like 4 times. And we get it to this level, he takes it out, destroys it, and we do it again. It's part of the fun, but this one is an absolute diamond. Great bike to turn into a supermoto. You can get it registered through Dirt Legal, get it plated, and ride it on the streets. It's an absolute rocket. Suspension's on point, brakes are on point, tires, engine, the fit and finish is second to none. Show them the bottom of the showing the bottom of the engine yet. The frame rails are impeccable and brand new, and they're protected by the polished aluminum skid plate, which has never, the bike's never been off-road since it was built. I guess Ivan didn't want to trash this, so you can see the engine motor mounts. See the rear motor mounts? Those are polished. All the hardware is new. The front motor mounts are polished. Just spectacular fit and finish. Of course, new air filter. Everything's new on the bike. Everything's new and heavily improved. The suspension's light years better than the stock stuff. Tires, chains and sprockets, the bars, everything you want to do to win a Grand National Championship, which means you got to be fast and you got to be reliable. All of that's been done on this bike, and if you know anything about the XR650Rs, they're highly coveted. This is light years better than the 600, which Scott Summers won multiple Grand National Cross Country Championships on, also in the off-road series. But this will run a lot cooler, a lot more horsepower than a stock 650L or regular XR650 would have, or XR600 would have, because of the liquid cooling. There's much tighter tolerances. Come around this side here. Show them the attention to detail that was. See this coating that was put on. This is a sleeve put over the radiator hoses to protect them from getting damaged on all the hoses. Front motor mounts polished. Absolutely the nicest one I've ever seen. We've built a few of these ourselves, but not to this level. Hats off to Ivan. It's cool seeing a guy. He's 31 years old, and I think he was like 28 when he stopped racing professionally. He's still doing some races, but before he stopped, racing for a living, at the pro national level, he took all that energy and focused it on building the best off-road bikes I've ever seen, including this KX125 over here, and we've had a few other bikes come through the shop that he had built, and the fit and finish is if you ever wanted to buy a factory race bike, right, a factory prepped XR650R, like they compete in the 500cc Baja, the 500 Baja 500, or the open class at Works, or the GNCCs. If you wanted a factory bike, this is as close as you'll ever get to it. This guy was a factory mechanic and a factory racer, and it was an unlimited budget. There was no expense spared. So yeah, and there's one, and it's for sale. If you're interested in it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. The graphics are on point. Like I said, when it rolled up the driveway, I literally, whatever I was doing, dropped it like a hot potato, and I couldn't grab it out of the shipper's hands fast enough, and the rest is history. But absolute diamond. Great job, Ivan. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, God bless the United States of America.